tonight's discussion is on health, and here I am with COVID, but I still wanted to talk about it and go over health for this year because, sometimes even in spite of us doing everything that we can to take care of ourselves, we do get sick. So it just so happened that I got COVID again, top of this year. I do take care of myself, and I feel like recovering quickly. Suzanne, I really thought I had indigestion, as crazy as that may seem. So I'm going to share some of the things that happened to me a little bit so that if it happens to you, you know what it is. But I had made some really spicy foods, and I felt like I had an indigestion. I was burning, like, not in my throat, but in my chest, and I thought I had actually made something I found on TikTok, and I put a lot of sriracha in it. It was really spicy, and I thought that's what it was. Well, it turns out that it went from that being lower in my chest to moving up more in my throat, and it felt like a sore throat. That's just what it felt like. So I thought, okay, there is some flu going around, there are colds going around, it's the time of year, and after the holidays, everybody shared everything that they have, right? So anyway, I just got really tired and went to bed and woke up with a fever, and then I knew. I said, well, I've got the flu, probably, because my daughter had the flu before Christmas, just the regular flu, because we had tested her for COVID, and she had tested negative. But anyway, long story short, I tested myself. We are supposed to be in Miami tomorrow. We were headed down there for a CrossFit competition. We were going to support our gym, who has a couple teams down there competing. And I wanted to make sure that whatever I had, well, for one thing, I don't want anybody to catch anything, any type of sickness, but certainly not COVID. Even if I was feeling better, I wanted to make sure that I couldn't spread anything. So I tested positive immediately. So we're homebound, and quite frankly, it has been kind of nice being at home. My husband's here. My daughter was ecstatic. She was so glad that she's trapped at home, and she's doing her school work from home. So she's pretty happy that she's got. And you're okay too, aren't you? My husband's in here with me tonight too. You're okay being here with me, trapped in?
I am beautiful.
So, but we are going to talk about health tonight. And we'll talk more in the coming weeks. There's many things that I want to introduce and talk about, and just things I'm doing, things that are working. But this is about drop the weight. So I think for me, having weight issues, I've had weight issues on and off my whole life, but not maybe what you might think. For me, it started that I was actually very skinny. I was too skinny. I was made fun of. I was like a string bean, and I would be called things like that, or zipper. I mean, I've gotten called names because of being so skinny. And I would eat and eat and eat and try to gain weight. Then I had a window, probably in my 20s, where, I was about right weight-wise, and then I began to gain. And, of course, as we get older, we gain and try different things. And I think, depending on your age, whatever you do, some things work, some things maybe not work as good. But I'm in my 50s now, and so here's some things that I've been doing that I hope that will help you to drop some weight and feel great, because hey Darlene, because that's what it's all about. Drop the weight, feel great, be healthy. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my daily routine and what I do. I'm still not at the weight that I want to be at. I am at 153 pounds. I'm 5'4". I want to be around 145. I feel like that's about where I need to be healthy. And I'm pretty lean. I'm more muscular now than I've ever been in my whole life. And I'm 56 years old. So in a way, that's kind of sad that I've waited so long to really take care of my body, because this is the only body that I get in this life, is this one to take care of. And I should have started sooner and earlier. And it's not that I've been bad on my body, but I should have cherished myself and my physical self more. And I want you to do that. I want this year going forward, all of you ladies, to take care of your body, to love your body. It's like your transport around in this world, right? So what I do through the week, I exercise. I have a personal trainer that I meet with twice a week. I do that every week. I have a yoga instructor. I do yoga once a week. And the reason that that's so important is that helps me to stretch. I get really tight in my hips. And I don't know about you guys, but I mean my neck, different places, my back. And that helps. And yoga is not as easy as it sounds. I always thought, okay, that's going to be relaxing. I'm going to be able to do some fun, relaxing, easy stuff. But it's not easy. You have to hold. You have to breathe. You have to stretch. So sometimes I'm really worn out from our yoga session. My personal trainer, she's been helping me. I don't know if you saw the video where I've been rope climbing. I have been working on rope climbing for a while. And much of it is not just physical, but it's mental. It is trying to do something that maybe you think you can't do, or in your mind, you know, you're like, oh, I'm not sure I can do this. But my trainer has been helping me to overcome that, because a lot of it is in the mind. It's about strengthening the mind. Yeah. So I meet with her. I do CrossFit. I CrossFit about 3 times a week, Lynn. I think we go to CrossFit.
Yeah,
3 times. Sometimes we do more. Sometimes we can do 4. Sometimes it's 2 times. This week it's 0 times. So we're not going anywhere this week. We're at home. But I CrossFit 3 times a week. And when you CrossFit, it can be, it's very challenging. But when I go to a workout, I modify according to what my body can do. So what I can do, that's what I modify to. And when I get through with a workout, I feel like I've really done something. So our workouts consist of things like, you have like a warm-up. You spend about 15 to 20 minutes stretching your body. Then we'll have about another section that's about 15 to 20 minutes of weightlifting or weight strengthening. And then the last about 20 minutes, they call it a Metcon, where it's a lot of cardio. So you do a lot of cardiovascular. So I do that. I do a lot of cardio. Now, interspersed in all the things I'm telling you about what I do physically, I do take vitamins. I have collagen I drink too, and I need to get back into drinking that more consistently. But collagen, I drink that in the mornings. I take vitamin C, vitamin B, vitamin D. And I know they were talking about COVID taking zinc. For some reason, my body does not like zinc. I am not able to take that. I've tried so many times, but I get terribly sick, uncontrollably sick, and my body rejects it. So I don't know what the reason for that is, but I do take all the others. I'm able to do that. And I took extra vitamin D tonight. But I am recovering, and I just want to say, I did feel bad for about 12 hours, flu-like, but after the 12 hours, I really felt more like I've got a cold. And you can tell I sound, I'm a little stopped up, and I'm a little sore throat, but that's kind of like, more like, a cold. So anyway, so I highly recommend, the biggest change for me with taking my vitamins that I want to make sure that you all know and understand is vitamin B complex. I cannot emphasize enough how powerful that is into how you feel mentally, because I noticed that after about 3 days, when I first started on my regimen of taking vitamins I knew I needed to take, I could tell how much better I felt by taking vitamin B complex. So that will make you feel so much better when you start taking that, and taking it consistently will help you. Another thing that I have felt extremely very compelled to do for the past few months, I'd say since maybe October, maybe starting in September, I felt strongly about not eating processed foods. And when I say processed, I mean things like kind of the fake cheese, which is American cheese. It's processed. Anything that's not really, anything that's made, that's really man-made, like Doritos, which I love Doritos. Yeah, start taking your vitamin B, that's right. Doritos, anything like that. I mean, it's full of MSG anyway, and that can't be good for us. When you start reading the ingredients and you don't know what they are, that to me is a pretty good sign that, I probably don't need to be eating this. I used to love, I still do, Diet Dr. Pepper. It was one of my favorite things to drink, but I stopped. I stopped drinking diet drinks. And I do think it's okay to have a soda every so often. Just have something like that. Reward ourselves. But I think the sugar really is better. If I have to pick between the diet and the sugar version, I think it's better to do the sugar version. Just drink a little bit. You can get the little small cans now that I think only have 8, 10 ounces. There's not much in them. Just a little reward. You don't have to drink the big things that you get, the super size that come from McDonald's. It looks like it's 16 to 20 ounces of sweet sugar drinks. That can't be good for us. So I've cut out processed foods, and I am feeling a lot better. And my weight is coming off slowly but surely. So I am down from 176 pounds. So what is that? 23 pounds. 23 pounds I'm down. And sometimes it is like a battling. I do like chocolate-covered peanut M&Ms. I love those. I love to eat that. I love popcorn. And I still enjoy those things. I just do it in moderation. And also, I go on fast. I go on certain kinds of fast. Like right now, we've been on a Daniel fast, and I came off of it because when I came down with this, I needed some soup, so I needed some things that I could eat, like brothy things that do have meat in them. But doing that, and it's part of, for us, it's been kind of a spiritual, physical pulling away, and we're actually at home now because we're in quarantine. We're really able to kind of, I guess, maybe get our focus back on the year ahead. I'm excited about this year. I do think it's going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to this year. I enjoy every year. I try to find something positive in every time that I'm in. Try to find something good and something positive that you can enjoy and that you can love. Now, the other thing about the fast, and you've probably already heard a lot about what I'm about to say, but it really does work, and that's the intermittent fasting. I noticed that I couldn't drop the weight as quickly as I could, let's say like when I was in my 30s. I could cut back. I could really do the low carb, and I could drop, pretty quick. I could get down to where I wanted to be, or needed to be, really. But it didn't happen this fast this time. So I'd heard about the intermittent fasting, and I read up on it and did a little research, like how many hours you need to do. So I started where I ate between the hours of 10 and I believe it was 6. Yeah, 10 to 6. And I'm going to tell you, it really does work. I wish I could show you my stomach and how it looked before and how it looks now, but it really has, and I've never been one to have a lot of weight in my stomach, but I have the past so many years. I've had a little bit in my gut and just it wouldn't come off. I always gain, usually in my legs. That's just where I hold it, but I say in the past so many years I'd gained some in my belly. So there is something to that science about the intermittent fasting. And it does work, and you can do it, and it's not as hard as you think it is. Yeah, good, I see that. Yeah, it's really good. And what I do in the mornings when I'm at work, I go to work and I have my meals at work. I eat oatmeal. I eat really healthy oatmeal. And I'll put a plug in here for Daily Harvest. I buy from Daily Harvest. They are all just fruit and veggie grains. They're really good. Now, they're not what I would call cheap, but I would say they're what I would call wholesome. And I don't know if they're organic. I hadn't really read up on that, but I would just say that I like everything that I try there. It's healthy, doesn't have a lot of additives. I think everything pretty much is like what I say. When you read the ingredients, you know what you're getting, what's in there. So I'll eat oatmeal, and I'll pour in oat milk or almond milk. I'll put in there because I don't do a lot of dairy. And not because I don't like it, it's just it doesn't like me sometimes. So I do that, and I eat a light lunch, and about 4 o'clock or so, I will eat an apple. And I've been on that Noom too. I've done that a little bit, and this is a pretty good little program. They even have a personal coach that's in there with you on Noom, which I thought was kind of interesting. But anyway, I do that, and then sometimes I'll make a shake. But I really, at the very end, after that, I'll make some sort of a fruit shake after we get home from working out, or right, hopefully not before we go, because it's not a good thing to eat right before you go to work out. But anyway, stopping at 6 o'clock has really helped me. And by the time 10 o'clock a.m. rolls around the next morning, I'm ready to eat. I'm hungry. And when I eat grains, something like oatmeal or whatever it is that you choose to eat, I do feel like it causes your metabolism, it bumps it up, and it gets you burning. Because if we suppress our appetite too much, it actually lowers our metabolism. And that has happened with me. So I'm working to reverse that and to get my metabolism going. And part of that is exercise. So exercise is very important, and it mentally makes me feel good. When I show up at the gym, I can't say I'm always excited, and I try not to even look at the workouts, because sometimes when I see the workouts, I'm like, okay, I don't want to go today. But I do what I can do. I do what I can do, and I'm not really showing out. I'm just showing up. And when I leave there, I feel good. I feel good that I've done it. I've done my best. I've done something that's hard for me, and I'm proud of myself. And I want you all to have a great year this year. And I'm sorry, I know I sound a little scratchy, but I know I've got a little something, got the COVID or whatever, but I'm okay. And I wanted to talk about it just a little bit, and then we're going to sign off. But I said in one of I think it was yesterday, I posted that we're going to have this live, and regardless of COVID, anytime we go through anything, whether it's something like a physical illness or just something in our lives that's very challenging, our outlook on whatever that is very important. It's very important to have faith and not fear, because it seems like what we focus on, that's the direction that we go. It's kind of like driving. Have you ever noticed that when you're driving at night and it's really dark or foggy? I live in the southeast, so it can be foggy at night sometimes. If you begin to focus too much on the lines, which is what you have to look at when you can't see in front of you, and you look to the side, that's the direction that you seem to drive. And that's true in anything. Whatever we focus on, that's the direction that we're going to go. So we have to focus on the good, on the positive. And instead of having fear, we must have faith. We must have overcoming spirits. And know that, my mother used to say, this too shall pass. And I'm already feeling much better. And I'm coming through this. And I just want you to know that whatever you go through, have faith over fear. You are going to come through it. Our mind is very powerful, and it does control. Our outlook controls where we go. One time, I remember having a conversation with God, so I'll just share this profound. It may not be all that profound to you, but to me it was profound. I remember it's about 10, it's been probably about 14 years ago, 12, 14 years ago. It was during some struggles that my family were going through when we had the housing market collapse, and it really had affected us as far as our income. There was a lot of stress, and there's so many voices. Isn't that true now? Don't you all hear a lot of voices? You hear so many positive voices. Then you hear a lot of negative, and you've got your people saying, hey, everything's going to be great. And then you got your other people saying, oh my gosh, doomsday, the apocalypse is going to happen. And I remember just asking God, I said, who do you believe? I mean, I know this person or this group, they mean well, and this group over here, they mean well. And they truly believe what they're saying. One group believed everything was going to be great. The other group believed, this world was going to end anytime now. And I just felt God talk to me. He said it. I even know where I was when we were having this little conversation. He told me, he said, Melanie, people always find what they're looking for. So just remember that this year as you go forward in 2022. You will find what you're looking for. So look for something great, because I tell you what, there are some great things ahead for each of you. I look forward to seeing you all out here more. I will have these, if you've never been, I don't know if you're new to the live, I apologize. I posted this late. I thought I'd already created this event, but this will be every Tuesday night. And I'm going to do some random ones. I was going to come live from Miami, but apparently I'll be home. So I'll be home for the next so many days. But look for something great. Start expecting great things in your life, because you're going to get those. You're going to get what you're looking for. Listen, you ladies, you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I'll post some more. And Coffee with Melanie, we'll do that Saturday. Maybe I can be outside if the weather's good enough. I'll get my husband to set me up somewhere outside, and we'll have coffee or tea, whatever it is you drink in the morning. You ladies have a wonderful evening. Bye.